Today's video was sponsored by Nelson Mwaura Ruto, a true patriot and a Kenyan nationalist at heart. Stand by for debrief in 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, here today's top stories in Out to the World segment. Number 1. As we speak, business owners, smart ones for that matter, have started the process of moving their produce and products. If you just leave them there and hope that things will be well, it might not turn out the way you think. Goons are being dispatched. That has become part and parcel of all maandamano. But I'm glad to see that business owners have acclimatized to this new situation and they're making necessary adjustments. Just check out this tip.
Angalia huyu hapa hivi empty. Hiyo ni empty. Angalia huyu mwingine empty. Ndio hii hapo hivi. Ukaenda hii. Huyu hata duka ina foundation. Sisi ametoka Nairobi hata ameenda ushago. Duka ina baka. Hapa karibu. Empty ndio hii hapo hivi. Ama tunalala huku leo. So customer ukifanya hivi woi. Kila kitu tunahamisha. Tunazipeleka huko. Anajua kwa hapo lakini ambia watu wamehama, duka ni empty. Si hata sisi tunahamisha kila kitu madam. Ingine pia iko empty. Ingine pia iko empty. Ajaenda ushago, tumeenda home. Kozi ni kunoma, ni kungoli. Sivyo? Sisi ni waoga. Ndio hii hapa hivi. Ndio huko. So, viva iko hivi, tunataka tuwacheka tumehamisha kila kitu. Hapa umefikisha hapa. Tunahamisha kila kitu. So Wednesday YouTube mtatuhurumia. Saa 4 saa 5 ndio tutaweza kufungua. Because lazima tuanze tunahama Superior, tunahama Biva, tunahama sijui wapi. Na nimesikia ni kama mimi sijui tunamaliza hii kazi saa ngapi. But saa hii ni operation hamisha kazi, enda ukae na vitu zako kwa nyumba. Better safe than sorry. Kwa sababu unalilianga watu inafika
So that's that. I'm happy to see that people are taking care of their businesses. Hata kama itakugarimu kusongesha bidhaa zako, just do it. Losing the whole stock is not worth it. Number 2, Joakim Simiyu of Bunge la Wananchi has called for the occupation of homes of members of parliament. Just check this out.
My closing remarks is that after Sabasaba, we are going to engage in another form of protests that has never been witnessed in this country, where we will be occupying the homes of members of parliament, MCAs, governors, and senators, not to cause violence, but we will just be going there to eat, because they have made our economy so hard that we can't even afford means for ourselves. So we want them to feel the heat of feeding people. So we will be having at least 1,000 people in every homestead of every leader.
And MPs like Aladwa wameuziwa uoga to the point wameanza kulia as early as now. Here's the tip.
Na serikali na vile kuchungwa na wananchi wangu. Sababu wao wamenichagua lengo wakapiga kura asubuhi. So hizi vitisho za kusema tutaoccupy nyumba fulani ya mheshimiwa fulani, wache wafanye mambo yao. Occupy si rahisi, yes inaweza occupy.
I don't know, in Kenya we have a very interesting group of leaders. No matter what people say, sijui ni nini, our ski. People broke into parliament, they have threatened some of them with 1 term or half term, and they don't care. They're just doubling and tripling down on the bad policies and the don't care attitude. Kenyans really need to be very careful who they elect in office come 2027. Usijaribu kurudisha mbunge ambaye they are not representing your will. They are representing the will of their party leader or the will of the president or the will of their stomach. That is very dangerous. When you look at Gathoni wa Mushomba, I like that lady. Sababu, from the get-go, she was the first rebels in UDA. Even Gachagua used to lecture her. When her people told her they don't want that finance bill, ya kwanza, she was against it. She has never been part and parcel of UDA or ODM or whichever ideology. She is with her people. What her people tell her, she does. And I saw her doing town halls where the people tell her wide open how they feel about some of the policies, and she goes and triples down on them. But for people like Aladwa and others, people need to be very, very careful. Get independent thinkers, not people who have delegated their thinking capacity to others. And a better response from Aladwa would have been, watu wanakaribishwa, mi napenda watu wangu walinipigia kura, kama mnataka kuoccupy ile pesa yangu kidogo nitapanga mchele na nyama and move on. People would say huu jamaa ako sawa, but when you tell people we can also occupy, sasa hapo unaharibu. Third final story of the day, some tribalists in bunge la wananchi who won't even bother mentioning their names or posting their images because there's no need to add any fame to such people. They are coming out to try and zone off maandamano, that it's for certain tribes to come out and protest, wengine wakae nyumbani. Since when? Just listening to this nut job.
Wenye wataenda maandamano, muende maandamano ingine, lakini si Sabasaba. Sabasaba inakuanga yetu. Tusigongane kwa barabara. Juu sisi tunatoka hivi tukienda hivi. Tusikutane na watu wa Githurai 45. Nyinyi muongoje maandamano yenu nane nane. Sabasaba ni yetu. Hizo koti kubwa kubwa zenye mnataka kuvaa mkikuja hivi. Ati Sabasaba. Sabasaba ni maandamano ya Wajaluo na Waloya. Hii maandamano ya Sabasaba rutaki Wagedhomu. Wagedhomu waende Murang'a. Mahali Mbutalu kwanza watakuwa ndugu yao. Sisi harutaki ati Omondi Karaoke. Omondi Karaoke ati Njogona. My friend, mimi nimekuja kujua kuingia kwa serikali tamu. Kama kitambo tulikuwa tunaenda maandamano, Wakikuyu walikuwa wanasumbua tu na kanjo hapa Mudhurwa. Ati sasa Kikuyu anaweza wacha kuenda Mudhurwa aende maandamano. For the first time, kusikia Kikuyu amekula risasi kwa maandamano. Ati kuangalia jina, ati Mwangi Wanjo.
I would argue leave lawyers out of your BS. The days where lawyers used to put votes in other people's baskets or be dragged into things which have nothing to do with them, they're over. And on top of that, just stop hiding behind Luos. You're an individual. People who speak like that infuriate me so much. You cannot say Sisi wa Luya. You are alone. You're an individual. When did Luyas vote? You cannot say Sisi wa Luo, Sisi wa Kikuyu. Speak for yourself. Don't say maandamano ni yetu sisi. Which Luo do you know that wants to go to maandamano? Let's start there. So I feel that's reckless talk. Na watu kama hawa ni very, very dangerous. They need to tone it down. Na hawa ndo wanafaa kuwa summoned na serikali. In fact, the government is busy summoning the wrong group of people. Ukiongea ukweli unaitwa. Ukiongea upuzi unawachwa. It's a very sad situation that we are in the country, but that's that. For this morning period, I'll only be doing 2 episodes. I'll be doing 2 more in the course of the day just to brief you in regards to what's happening in the country as we try and peer into Sabasaba and the subsequent activities thereof. Having said that, guys, if you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula, hit the subscribe button. You're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really, really need to subscribe to. All right, guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.